Have you ever sat down for breakfast, enjoying a peaceful morning, without the slightest thought that your life could change forever just minutes later? Let me share a story with you, because it truly happened to Uncle Tam, a close family friend of mine. He was 71 years old, still quite healthy, loved light exercise, and made sure to have breakfast every single morning. But on what seemed like a normal day, right after breakfast, he suffered a stroke. When the news came, we were all shocked. How could it happen so suddenly? He had always been healthy. But when we looked deeper, things started to make sense. A big part of the problem came from the foods he chose to eat every morning. Foods that seemed harmless, but actually carried serious health risks, especially for older adults. You see, when we're young, our bodies are resilient, able to handle much more. But once we pass the age of 60, 65, or 70, things begin to change. Blood vessels aren't as flexible as they used to be. The heart has to work harder to pump blood throughout the body. And if we're not careful, just one wrong meal can lead to heavy consequences, like a stroke, a silent but deadly enemy. So which foods exactly can increase that risk? And how can we protect ourselves to enjoy a healthier, happier life as we age? That's exactly what I want to share with you today. You might be surprised, because these foods are incredibly common in our daily meals, especially in Vietnamese households. But the good news is, just a few simple changes, you can significantly reduce your stroke risk and better protect your heart and brain. Let us start with the first culprit, something many people feel they simply can't live without at breakfast: bacon. You may have heard warnings about it before, but let me explain it in a way that's easy to understand. Bacon is a processed meat that's loaded with salt and packed with preservatives, especially nitrates and nitrites. Once inside the body, these chemicals can damage the lining of blood vessels, making them inflamed and stiff over time. Imagine your blood vessels like flexible water pipes. If grime and buildup start sticking to the inside, the water doesn't flow as easily, right? It's the same with blood vessels. When their walls are damaged or clogged with fatty deposits, the risk of blood clots goes up, and that's a direct pathway to a stroke. Uncle Tam used to have a few crispy slices of bacon with his bread every morning, a habit that seemed harmless and even common for many seniors today. But the amount of salt and saturated fat hidden in those slices quietly added stress to his cardiovascular system day after day. If you love that rich, savory flavor, don't worry. There are safer alternatives. You can swap in fresh meats, like boiled chicken breast or steamed fish, both great for your heart and lower in sodium. A breakfast with a little steamed fish, some lightly cooked vegetables, and a bowl of gentle porridge sounds like a beautiful way to start the day, doesn't it? Moving on to the second food, I'm sure many of us still hold onto this habit: instant noodles. I'll be honest, even I, during busy mornings, used to think, I'll just grab a quick bowl of noodles. But after what happened to Uncle Tam, I had to rethink everything. Instant noodles, especially traditional instant ramen, are packed with sodium, the main mineral found in salt. When your body has too much sodium, it pulls extra water into the blood vessels, forcing the heart to pump harder and increasing blood pressure. Over time, this extra strain on the vessels and heart can quietly pave the way for a stroke. Besides that, the flavoring packets often contain lots of MSG and trans fats, two ingredients that heart doctors strongly advise limiting. A breakfast built around instant noodles may fill you up quickly, but the hidden cost to your health is just too high. If you're craving something quick and easy. Try swapping instant noodles for oatmeal cooked with unsweetened milk. It takes just 5 to 7 minutes to prepare, but offers a fantastic source of fiber, helps lower cholesterol, stabilizes blood pressure, and is especially good for the heart. Now that we've mentioned bacon and instant noodles, you might be wondering, what's next? Another very familiar item many of us love for breakfast: pastries. Soft, fragrant pastries seem like the perfect little morning treat, but they're actually a sweet trap for our health. Pastries often contain very high levels of sugar, plus saturated fats from butter and cream. Eating too much sugar and unhealthy fats can lead to high cholesterol, blood vessel damage, and an increased risk of blood clots. A simple way to manage this is that if you're craving something sweet in the morning, reach for fresh fruits instead, like a ripe banana, an apple, or a handful of berries. These fruits provide natural energy and are packed with antioxidants that help protect your blood vessels from damage. So, through Uncle Tam's story and the familiar foods we just talked about, you see, sometimes the things we think are harmless parts of everyday life can quietly put us at risk. After talking about bacon, instant noodles, and pastries, there's another hidden danger that often shows up on our breakfast tables: processed cheese. Processed cheese is very different from natural cheese. It's made with added salts, preservatives, and artificial fats to make it last longer and melt easily, that creamy slice that seems to melt so perfectly on toast. It's often packed with sodium and unhealthy trans fats, both of which put a heavy load on your heart and blood vessels. Too much sodium stiffens the arteries, while trans fats raise the level of bad cholesterol and lower the good cholesterol in your blood. It's like inviting trouble into your body without even realizing it. Over time, this damage builds up quietly until, one day, it shows up as a heart attack or a stroke. Uncle Tam loved putting a slice of processed cheese on his bread every morning. It made his breakfast feel richer and more flavorful. But now, when I look back, I wish we had talked to him sooner, suggested better options like fresh avocado spread, a boiled egg, or a slice of natural cheese made from pure milk without additives. A mashed avocado on toast not only tastes wonderful, but is packed with healthy fats that actually support heart health. And it's so easy to prepare. Just scoop out the avocado, mash it with a little bit of lemon, and spread it on whole grain bread. It's delicious, nourishing, and so much safer for the heart. Now, speaking of breakfast habits, there is one more food that many seniors include without thinking twice: processed deli meats like ham, sausages, and cold cuts. These meats are convenient, tasty, and require no cooking, perfect for a quick meal, right? But just like bacon, they're loaded with sodium, nitrates, and unhealthy fats. Every bite introduces chemicals that slowly harm the walls of our arteries, making them weaker and more prone to clots. Processed deli meats are among the top contributors to high blood pressure and heart disease among older adults. Yet, because they're so easy to prepare, many people overlook their hidden dangers. If you find yourself reaching for ham or sausages, think about switching to something fresher: grilled chicken breast, a homemade turkey salad, or even a simple bowl of yogurt with nuts and fruit can be fantastic alternatives. They nourish your body without flooding it with dangerous chemicals. Sometimes change feels hard, especially when we've been eating a certain way for decades. But your health is worth it. Even small changes, when done consistently, can add years to your life and keep you feeling strong, alert, and energetic. Now, there's one more thing we can't ignore. Not a food exactly, but a daily habit tied to eating. The way we use too much table salt. Many people, especially older generations, have the habit of adding extra salt to their meals without even tasting them first. A little sprinkle here, a little more there. It seems harmless. But that extra salt adds up quickly. Salt retains water in your bloodstream, putting more pressure on your heart and arteries. Over time, high blood pressure becomes a silent killer, setting the perfect stage for strokes and heart attacks. Uncle Tam had this habit too. Even when the soup or porridge already tasted just right, he would reach for the salt shaker. Just out of habit. No one really thought much of it until it was too late. Today, whenever I sit down to eat, I always remind myself, taste first and only add if truly necessary. Better yet, try flavoring food with natural herbs like cilantro, basil, or even a squeeze of lemon instead of adding extra salt. Little shifts like these may seem small, but over time, they can completely transform your health. Imagine your arteries staying clear and strong, your heart beating effortlessly, and your brain staying sharp and focused even as you age gracefully. At the end of the day, food is powerful. It can either be your best medicine or your slowest poison. The choice is ours, every meal, every bite. When I think back to Uncle Tam's story, I don't feel sadness anymore. Instead, I feel a strong motivation to share these lessons with as many people as possible, especially you, who might be listening right now and realizing, maybe it's time for me to make a few simple changes too. And honestly, it's never too late, whether you're 60, 70, or even 80. Your body is ready to heal and thrive with the right support. A few better choices at breakfast, a bit more awareness, a little less salt, and a lot more love for yourself. That's all it takes to steer your health in a brighter direction. As we continue talking about breakfast and the choices we make, there's something very important I want to share with you. It's not just about what we eat, but also about how we start our day. The pace we set for ourselves the moment we wake up. You see, Uncle Tam was a man of habits. He liked doing everything quickly in the morning. Wake up, shower, get dressed, eat breakfast, all in about 30 minutes. He believed moving fast kept him young, but in reality, rushing, especially during breakfast, can cause more harm than good at our age. When you eat too fast, your body doesn't have enough time to signal when it's full. This often leads to overeating, and for seniors, it puts extra strain on the heart. A full stomach pushes up against the diaphragm, making it harder to breathe and forcing the heart to work harder. If the blood vessels are already weakened, and we know they often are after 60, this sudden pressure can trigger a stroke. That's why it's so important to slow down. Take small bites, chew carefully, and savor the food. Enjoying breakfast calmly not only protects your heart, but also gives you a peaceful start to the day. Think of it like setting a gentle rhythm for your body to follow for the rest of the day. Steady, smooth, and strong. One thing I love to do now is to make my breakfast a little ritual. A cup of warm herbal tea, a light bowl of oatmeal with fruit, and a few deep breaths before I start the day. It might sound simple, but it makes a huge difference. Your body feels cared for, respected, and in return, it treats you with more energy and calmness. Another little known danger I must mention is skipping breakfast entirely. Many seniors, especially those living alone, sometimes feel too tired to prepare a meal or just don't feel hungry in the morning. They might think, "I'll just eat later." But skipping breakfast can actually increase the risk of stroke. When you don't eat in the morning, your blood sugar drops. To compensate, the body releases stress hormones like cortisol, which can raise your blood pressure. High cortisol levels over time damage blood vessels and make them more prone to clots. It's like adding silent stress to your body every morning without realizing it. Uncle Tam sometimes skipped breakfast on days when he wasn't feeling well. Looking back, we wonder if those days added to the wear and tear on his body without anyone noticing. So even if you don't feel hungry, try to have something light. A banana, a cup of yogurt, a slice of whole grain toast, anything gentle and nourishing to help your body wake up the right way. It's not about forcing yourself to eat a big meal. It's about offering your body the fuel it needs to keep the blood flowing smoothly, to keep the heart beating strongly, and to protect the brain, which is so sensitive to changes in blood flow. You deserve that kind of care every single day. You've worked so hard, lived through so many experiences, and given so much to your families and communities. Now, it's time to give that same kindness and attention back to yourself. While we're talking about these important changes, I also want to touch on something that's just as powerful as food: hydration. Many seniors, often without realizing it, live in a mild state of dehydration as we age. Our sense of thirst becomes weaker. We might not feel thirsty even when the body truly needs water, but dehydration thickens the blood, making it harder for the heart to pump and easier for clots to form, again increasing the risk of stroke. Uncle Tam often drank tea, but rarely plain water. He thought that tea was enough, but tea, especially if caffeinated, can actually dehydrate the body more. Today, I always encourage my friends and family members to drink a glass of water first thing in the morning, before the coffee, before the tea. Just simple, pure water. It wakes up the digestive system, thins the blood slightly, and helps everything start moving smoothly again after a long night. If drinking plain water feels boring, try adding a few slices of cucumber or a squeeze of lemon for a bit of flavor. It's a small habit, but can make a huge difference in keeping your blood vessels healthy and reducing stroke risk. All these little choices, slowing down at breakfast, choosing fresher foods, eating something even when you're not very hungry, drinking enough water, might seem simple, almost too simple. But together, they create a powerful shield round your heart and brain. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being kind to yourself, one small step at a time. Every better choice you make is a beautiful gift to your future. Now, while we're talking about breakfast habits and hydration, there's another important aspect we can't ignore: stress. Stress is like an invisible current running underneath our lives. You might not see it or even feel it clearly, but it's there, and it can be surprisingly dangerous. Especially as we age, when you're under stress, your body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones make your heart beat faster and your blood pressure rise. And if this happens often enough, it weakens your blood vessels and sets the stage for serious problems like stroke. I remember Uncle Tam. He was a kind, quiet man, but inside, he carried a lot of worry. He worried about his children, about money, about things he couldn't even control, and he rarely talked about it. It stayed bottled up inside him like a pressure cooker. You see, it's not just what we eat, but also what we carry in our hearts that can harm us. Holding on to stress is like holding a heavy stone close to your chest every day. You might get used to the weight, but it's still crushing you, little by little. That's why finding ways to release stress gently is just as important as choosing healthy foods. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. A short walk in the morning sun, 5 minutes of deep breathing before breakfast, listening to your favorite old songs, or even calling a friend just to chat. These little things help melt away the hidden tension inside. One simple trick that has helped many seniors is practicing gratitude. Each morning, before eating breakfast, take a moment to think of 3 small things you're grateful for. It could be the sound of the birds outside, the cozy feeling of your favorite sweater, or even the taste of your tea. This small shift of focus brings calmness to the heart and lightens the load of stress naturally. When the heart is calm, the blood flows more smoothly. When the mind is peaceful, the body becomes stronger. It's all connected, like a beautiful symphony inside you. Now, while we're on the topic of keeping calm and healthy, another common mistake many seniors make is relying too much on sugary foods, especially in the morning. It's so easy to reach for sweet cereals, flavored yogurts, pastries, or even sweetened coffees. They taste good, they give a quick burst of energy, and they seem harmless enough. But high-sugar foods cause a rapid spike in blood sugar followed by a sudden crash. This roller coaster effect strains the blood vessels, confuses the heart, and increases inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation is a hidden enemy. It silently damages your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. And when that happens, the risk of stroke rises dramatically. Uncle Tam loved his sweetened condensed milk in coffee every morning. It made his drink creamy and sweet, and he felt like it gave him energy. But over time, all that hidden sugar added up. If you love sweet flavors, you don't have to give them up completely. Just choose smarter options. Fresh fruits like berries or bananas can satisfy your sweet tooth in a way that's much kinder to you. Our body, if you enjoy yogurt, pick the plain, unsweetened kind, and add your own fresh fruit or a drizzle of honey if you like. And about coffee, if you can, try drinking it black or with just a small splash of milk. You'll find that after a little while, your taste buds will adjust, and you might even start enjoying the natural, rich flavor of the coffee itself. Every time you make a gentle change like this, you're sending love to your future self. You're telling your heart, I'm taking care of you. I want you to be strong and steady for many more years. These changes don't happen overnight, and they don't need to. It's perfectly okay to take your time. Maybe today you drink 1 less sugary coffee. Maybe tomorrow you go for a short morning walk. Maybe the next day you remember to drink an extra glass of water. It's all progress, and every little bit matters. Just imagine waking up in the morning with more energy, a clearer mind, a heart that beats strong and steady. Imagine walking in the park with your grandchildren, sharing meals with your friends, traveling to places you've always dreamed of, all because you made the decision today to start loving and protecting your health. It's never about being perfect. It's about choosing, again and again, to take one more small step toward the life you deserve. And you deserve a life that's full of vitality, joy, and peace. As we keep moving forward together, there's one more silent culprit we need to talk about: processed meats. Things like bacon, sausages, ham, and canned meats. They're tasty, they're easy to prepare, and they often remind us of family breakfasts or big gatherings from years ago. But here is the truth that many people don't realize: processed meats are loaded with sodium, preservatives, and unhealthy fats that can quietly damage your blood vessels over time. Sodium, in particular, is a hidden danger. When you eat too much salt, your body holds onto extra water to try and balance it out. This extra water increases the volume of blood inside your arteries, making your heart work harder to pump it through. Over the years, this constant pressure wears out your arteries, making them stiff and fragile, perfect conditions for a stroke to happen. I remember visiting Uncle Tam once and seeing him prepare a quick breakfast, a few slices of fried ham, a piece of white bread, and a strong coffee with sweetened milk. It was fast, easy, and it filled his stomach. But what it also filled his body with was too much salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats, a dangerous combination for someone in his 70s. Nobody ever told him differently. Nobody ever explained that, at his age, the body becomes much more sensitive to these things. The kidneys don't filter sodium as effectively anymore. The blood vessels lose some of their elasticity. And the heart, after so many years of loyal service, simply can't work as hard without consequences. But here's the good news. It's never too late to make better choices. Instead of processed meats, you can easily switch to healthier proteins. Maybe a hard-boiled egg, a small piece of grilled chicken, or even some soft tofu with a bit of soy sauce. These options still give you that satisfying feeling of a hearty breakfast without overwhelming your body with harmful substances. And if you do crave the flavors of bacon or sausage once in a while, that's okay too. Just treat it like a special occasion, not an everyday habit. Life is meant to be enjoyed, not restricted with sadness or guilt. It's about balance, not perfection. Every time you choose a fresher, less processed option, you're helping your heart, your brain, and your whole body feel younger, lighter, and stronger. There's also another hidden ingredient in many processed foods: nitrates. These chemicals are used to preserve color and flavor in meats. But they can also damage the lining of your blood vessels and contribute to inflammation over time. This invisible inflammation becomes like a slow fire burning inside your body, weakening you without you even knowing it. When you choose simple, whole foods like fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins, you help put out that fire. You help your body heal itself naturally, quietly, steadily. Imagine waking up one morning feeling lighter on your feet, breathing easier, thinking more clearly, simply because you gave your body what it needed, instead of what was convenient. You have the power to give yourself that gift. Every choice you make, even the small ones, matters more than you can imagine. When I talk to friends who are making these changes, they often tell me the same thing. I didn't realize how much better I could feel at my age. That's the beautiful secret they discover. Aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean growth, wisdom, and even greater strength if we treat our bodies with love and respect. And you know what else helps? Community. Sharing meals with friends, talking about these small changes, encouraging each other, laughing together. Healing and happiness grow faster when shared. So as you sit down to your next breakfast, maybe think about adding just one fresh thing to your plate. Maybe drink one extra glass of water. Maybe take a moment to smile and breathe deeply before you start your meal. These are small seeds of health and joy that you're planting inside yourself. And in time, just like a well-tended garden, they will bloom into a life that feels vibrant, peaceful, and full of possibilities, no matter your age. Now that we've talked so much about the foods and habits that can quietly harm our bodies, it's important to end this journey on a note of hope Because the real message here isn't about fear. It's about power. It's about the real, incredible power you have right now to change the course of your health and your future. You see, no matter what has happened in the past, the breakfasts full of processed meats, the sugary drinks, the long years of hidden stress, none of that defines you. What defines you is what you choose today and tomorrow and the day after that. Every morning is a new chance, a fresh beginning, a beautiful opportunity to give your body and your heart a little more love and care. So, what can you do, starting right now? You can begin by choosing foods that are colorful, alive, and close to nature. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, fresh fish, and simple whole grains. These foods nourish not just your body, but also your spirit. They are full of the kind of energy that your cells recognize and celebrate. You can choose to move your body gently each day. A short walk, some easy stretching, maybe a few simple exercises while sitting in a chair. Movement keeps the blood flowing smoothly, keeps the muscles strong, and helps sweep away the old, tired energy that makes us feel sluggish. You can choose to breathe deeply, to take a moment every morning to feel gratitude for the life you have, for the people you love, for the quiet miracles that happen around you every day. And you can choose to forgive yourself for not being perfect, because none of us are. Health isn't about being perfect. It's about being kind, patient, and persistent. Even small changes, when made with love and consistency, can lead to transformations that are almost miraculous. The human body is incredibly resilient. It wants to heal. It's waiting for you to give it the chance. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, feeling stronger, more vibrant, more alive. Imagine surprising your doctors, your family, even yourself, with how much energy you have, how steady your hands are, how clear your mind feels. That future is within your reach. It starts with one small decision today. Maybe it's choosing a breakfast with fresh fruit instead of processed meats. Maybe it's deciding to drink an extra glass of water. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to sit quietly, breathe, and let go of the stress you've been carrying. Whatever it is, know that you are not alone. There is a whole community of people just like you, taking small steps each day toward a brighter, healthier, happier life. And if you ever feel discouraged, remember this: every great journey is made up of many small steps. Every great oak tree began as a tiny seed. You are planting seeds today, seeds of health, of joy, of strength, and, with a little patience and care, they will grow. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you feel inspired, empowered, and ready to take your health into your own loving hands. If you found this conversation helpful, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please feel free to share your experiences, your hopes, and even your challenges in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else who is just beginning their own journey. And if you'd like more simple, uplifting tips on living your healthiest, happiest life after 60, please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're building a warm, supportive community here, a place where age is celebrated, where wisdom is honored, and where hope never fades. Until next time, please take good care of yourself. You are precious. Your life is valuable, and the best is truly yet to come.